What's up everybody? How are you enjoying the new content in Rift of Worlds? I know I am. I wish I was enjoying it more if I got some better drops, but that's my own damn fault. Actually, that's not my own damn fault. That's RNG's fault. Oh, that I'm not getting better drops. Cause Maddie keeps stealing all the Maddie, I see you stealing all the good drops. I see you, Maddie. Alright, so we're gonna talk about some of my favorite monsters for the Rift of Worlds, for the Rift battles, the raid battles, the Death Knights. Why do I like the Death Knights? That's weird. Like, man, Jubagel, there's so many good monsters for Rift of Worlds. Why the Death Knights? Well, I did notice this. I noticed that in a lot of Rift of Worlds runs, I was trying to analyze. I was looking at other teams that worked decent and worked good. Usually they have the same thing as in common, right? One, Chasun, because of course she's a great... I don't know how I think I'm going to do this well with the... I have the thing in front of my microphone. Yeah, that's genius. Genius Bagel. Alright, Chasun, of course, she's a fantastic healer. She also has the glancing hit debuff with her first skill, so even if she's not healing, she can still attack and give the boss the glancing hit. But I noticed that there's a lot of Death Knights in successful runs. Why is Death Knights great? Why are Death Knights great? Well, the reason Death Knights are great is because they can land multiple debuffs. Multiple debuffs that are good for Rift of Worlds. Or good against Rift of Worlds. The first, not all of them land the same debuffs. There's two basic different types of Death Knights. There's ones that have the AoE second skill, and then there's ones that have the defense break and attack buff second skill. So the first skill, all of them have, disturbs the HP recovery for 2 turns with a 50% chance. The boss heals himself, so this is really good. Alright? Very, very good first skill. Basically, one of the really good reasons, tanky, and has this first skill. Second skill, breaks attack power. Very nice. Doesn't really help that it's an AoE, so you kind of lose some of the awesomeness there. But you have an attack power and you have an HP, disturb HP. There's other monsters that do these two skills as well, but the Death Knights are really tanky monsters. Arnold also can heal himself, which is nice as well. So that's one of the reasons Arnold is good. Brian is the same. Well, not the same, very similar to Arnold. He can't heal himself, but he does have a revive built in. He's got the disturb HP recovery, and he's got the weaken attack power. But here's the second... Oh, and then Conrad. I don't like Conrad for this, actually. Because Conrad, basically, his third skill... Where's Conrad? Where's Conrad? His third skill, you're really not going to get anything out of this for the Rift. So I don't think he's as good as the other ones. I think Brian and Arnold are, of course, above Conrad. Actually usable, in my opinion, in Rift of Worlds. And then, I think the two that are the best are the other two that are left. Okay, so the other two that are left, we have Fedora. Fedora's base HP is kind of low, though. It's lower than the other ones. So, you got to try to get that in substats. Fedora's, of course, has this. Then he has the check and destroy. Breaks attack power and defense as well. So yeah, it's not an AoE, but you don't need AoE skills for Rift of Worlds. Also, another thing to point out, if you guys have monsters that hit random multiple enemies for the skills, you're just fighting one enemy. So don't need AoEs. AoEs not really important for Rift of Worlds at all. You're just hitting one monster, so things like... I noticed this, Huahi does a lot of damage on... I put her in today, I think. Was the first time I put her in. I didn't even try her before that, and I was like, you know what, she does a glancing hit debuff, and then her third skill just attacks random targets, but you're always attacking the same target. As long as they have a defense break, she buffs her own attack too, and heals. Huahi is actually doing... better than I realized she was going. Like, I was like, oh my god, how did I not realize that Huahi was actually doing pretty good? She's got the heal, she's got the glancing hit, she attack buffs her own team, and she does all the hits. What is it, 5 hits for their third skill? All of them go to the boss. It's all the same target. So yeah, AoE skills, not like Lucian, not really that great in Rift of Worlds. I know, Lucian, not great at something? Oh my god. But Lucian still does have debuffs as well. He's just not tanky. So you can use him in like the beginning stages, but you're really not going to get too much use out of him later on. But this is, of course, we have back to the Death Knights, back to what the video is about. If Check and Destroy attacks 2 times, decrease attack power and defense. Okay, so we have a heal block, we have a Disturb HP recovery. That's the same thing. We have a Disturb HP recovery, we have an attack break, and we have a defense break. So the only things that we really need, aside from that, is a decreased speed, and we need a glancing hit. So of course, if you have Chasun, then you have the glancing hit too. So all you need is a monster that can decrease speed as well. So if you have a Death Knight and Chasun, that's a really good, 2 really good monsters for this. Then we have Decline, protects all allies from death for 1 turn, removes all harmful effects, and gains immunity for 2 turns. Now, unfortunately, things like this and things like Chloe, the boss is just, he's got skills that counter your immunity. So that's not as good as it could be, but at least we do remove all harmful effects. So we're going to remove the Oblivion, we're going to remove the stuns and things like that. So you want to have good resistance on this guy, because you want to make sure he does not get stunned himself. This way he uses skills. I think how I want to ruin mine, I want to ruin him at least with good speed. Make sure these monsters have good speed too. And you want to make sure your monsters have good speed and everything though. But I think for him, I want to do him Violent and Nemesis for the Rift of Worlds. So he needs a lot of rune work. He needs resistance, he needs HP, he needs defense, he needs accuracy. So doesn't need attack power, crit rate, crit damage. He needs speed though. He needs speed. But I'm not too worried about the other skills. So I want him to get a lot of turns though, because I want him to always have Decline ready, or at least have it ready as much as possible. But there's a monster that I think is even better for this. The only thing is, you gotta watch out for the Oblivion. But I think Fedora and Diaz are actually pretty good for this, and I'm gonna build a Diaz as well. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Wait. He's somewhere. I have him. Where is he? Oh, here he is. I can never find them. Alright, so Diaz has the same 2 skills as Fedora. Plus he's got this control passive. Decreases the chances of receiving a critical hit by 50% and reduces the damage that other allies receive by 15%. Doesn't stack up with other damage reduction effects. So why do I think that he's better than Darien? Some people are like, oh, I like Darien for this. The thing is, Darien, when you build Darien, like if you already have a Darien built, he's usually like HP, 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 crit damage, HP. With Diaz, of course, he's got the attack break and the defense break, like Darien as well. He's got the same, not the same passive. He has a similar passive to Diaz, but Diaz also has the deadly blow. Unleashes a fatal blow on the enemy, disturbing the target's HP recovery. We already talked about that. The dragon heals. The the purple-headed dragon. Actually, he is a purple-headed dragon though. He heals, so you want to land these heal debuffs. But the thing is with Diaz, you don't want him to get Oblivioned. So you want to make sure that he does not get Oblivion on him. You want to have good resistance on him. You want him to be tanky, you want him to have good resistance. But I think Diaz is probably even better than Fedora. But if you have Fedora, build Fedora, because Fedora is actually pretty good too. I really need rune work on my own Fedora personally, but I think Diaz is going to be built and put on the front lines for the Rift of Worlds. It's all about tanky. Like you can get away with attack monsters in the first couple levels, but then you want to go like, you could get away with attack on 1, you get away with attack still on 2, but like starting 3, 4, and 5, you're like, okay, we need to make it tanky. We're not going to do this fast. We need to just not die. So you need cleansers, you need to do all those debuffs, make sure the dragon's got as much debuffs as possible at all times. And you need cleansers, healers, cleansers, healers, cleansers, and debuffers. That's really what the name of the game is. So don't try to go for, if you're trying to go like level 4 and 5, don't try to go for attackers, just stay alive as long as possible, make sure he's got all the debuffs on him. And make sure you have a million monsters that can heal and cleanse. So these Death Knights are great though. I think these Death Knights are definitely great. I got a 6-star Diaz and I got a 6-star Arnold as well. I think Arnold more for other stuff, and Diaz maybe is gonna be better here. But yeah, I think and that's not just me talking about myself and what I did, but I was looking at other people's teams while they were doing it. I'm like, they got the Death Knights, and this one has a Death Knight, and this one has a Death Knight. I'm like, okay, there's something to this. Successful teams have Death Knights in them. Gotcha. So whether it's Brian or Fedora or Diaz, they have one of those. Another good monster that I've seen a lot of people build. A lot of my guildmates are building Konamiya now if they haven't already built her, him, it, he, she. Konamiya is great for the raids as well. But yeah, just wanted to talk about Death Knights a little bit. Finally, a reason to build the Diaz, because I've been not building him for. I was like, no, I'm not gonna build him. No, I'm not gonna build him. No, I'm not. We got him for the Hall of Heroes, right? A while ago. And I'm just like, I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I'm like, he's just sitting there in storage, doing nothing. Now he finally has a reason to, Diaz, you finally have a reason to exist. Good job. Good job, Diaz. So I gotta get a lot of resistance on him, though. Alright, guys. That's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any tips for the raids, then be sure to leave them in the comments. This way everyone else can enjoy them, too. Like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. And I will give you more information as well. Gotta do more raid videos, but honestly, I've just been doing Necropolis the past few days. I can never get it. I did some raids, but I've been doing more Necropolis because I'm like, I gotta get good runes first before I can get the grindstone, before I can put grindstones on them. So, all right, guys. That's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you in the next one.